Girl and boy, girl is gender neutral. Hey y'all, and welcome to Amberriety. Yes, I am back. I'm so happy to be back. Of course, if this is your first time here, welcome. We love meeting new people. Leave a comment, let me know this is your first video. Yes. And of course, if you've been here before, hey. For anyone who doesn't know, my name is Amber and this is my YouTube channel, Amberriety. I have decided that I will not say the name of my YouTube channel normally anymore. I am going to sing it because it feels right, and that is how I came up with the name. So today we're talking about something pretty interesting. We are talking about deal breakers in relationships. Yes. So I know what you're thinking. How many relationships have you had? Not a lot. However, that's why I'm going to give this quick disclaimer that these are just my thoughts and my opinions. They are not the rule of thumb. It's not fact or what have you. So 100% you don't have to take this. You can be like, girl, your list is completely wrong. Totally fine. But I did do this a little bit differently. So originally I was just gonna write some things out and go for it. But I actually decided that for this particular video, I'm gonna crowdsource. So I posed this question on my Instagram and I got a ton of comments from both men and women, and that was pretty amazing. So thank you so much if you responded to that. I really appreciate you, and I love engagement. So I'm going to be looking into my laptop back and forth. So if I'm not looking at you, it's not because I don't want to, just because I have the list on my laptop, and so I'm going to be going back and forth. Let's do this. So first of all, this one you might think is kind of petty, not really, like you might be like, that's not that big of a deal, but it is. First, cutting me off when I speak. Now y'all know I talk way too much to have someone be cutting me off, and that doesn't mean that I dominate conversations, which I do, kind of working on it maybe, but it means that like when I have something to say, right, I just love being heard. Not like I love to listen to the sound of my own voice. No, I keep on clarifying and not explaining anything, and I don't know why. But basically, when I have something to say, right, I want to say it. I want to be able to get it, land it, and move on from there. Likewise, when someone else has something to say, I listen to what they have to say, and then I respond to them. So I can't stand it when I'm trying to like tell a story or I'm trying to say something, and so like maybe you agree with me and you're like, oh yeah, bet, that's fine, but not being like, oh yeah, so like I was going down to the store today. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of the time that I was going down to the store. I saw a cat, a dog, No, don't cut me off. See, if you had just let me finish, we could have moved on, and that's what I don't like. I can't. So cutting me off when I speak, and I didn't even know that was something that pissed me off until someone said it in the comments, and I was like, oh my god, yes, I talk way too much to be cut off. Now the next one, not knowing how to apologize and not being accountable. Oh, that is a big one. That, all jokes aside, is a huge deal breaker, because who wants to be with someone who can't acknowledge when they've done something that's hurt you or done something that's inherently not okay? If your partner explains to you something that you've done that hurts them, why not just apologize, right? Like, in a relationship, you want them to be happy, right? And I'm not saying like if it's something crazy or if it's like something out of the blue, but like really listening to them. And this is for people who are rational, right? Because relationships differ. But for rational people, listening to them and just being like, oh, okay, I can see why that's hurt you, and I apologize for that. I don't think it takes anything from you. I understand the pride aspect, but I also think you have to weigh the pros and cons of every relationship and be like, if this apology is what will allow us to go back to how we were or work on what we were going through, then I should probably apologize. But also knowing that with an apology, they don't have to forgive you. So just because I want to work on this, so I'm going to apologize, doesn't mean that, oh, because they want to work on it too, they have to forgive you too. No, it just means that the right thing to do was the apology. And I think with that also comes accountability, right? So you need to be held accountable. If there are consequences for the screw up that you just did, you got to take them. Like, it is what it is. You kind of did that to yourself and you did the thing that you weren't supposed to do, or you said the thing, or you thought the thing, whatever. So I think accountability and like being able to apologize go hand in hand. That's just me. Okay. Ooh, this was a good one. Little white lies. Let me tell y'all a quick story about why I hate little white lies. So I once dated this guy, right? We went on a couple of dates. I didn't date him, but we went on a couple of dates, right? And it was fine. It was cool. I was still feeling it out. So this man follows my sister on Snapchat, or she adds my sister on Snapchat. Not a big deal, right? Whatever. This is the girl you're dating. I post my sister all the time. I put her name or whatever so that you can easily look her up. So she tells me, and she's like, oh, well, you know, this guy who you were telling me about, he added me on Snapchat. I just want to make sure this is the guy, but I think this is him. This is what he looks like, right? And I was like, oh yeah, he was. It wasn't a big deal, whatever. So we're talking, and I'm like, oh hey, actually that's so. I just remembered, you added my sister on Snapchat, right? And he's like, no. And I'm like, no, but you did. Like, she told me. How would she? She's like, no, like I never added her. I don't know who that is. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I was just asking because she said that you added her. I also saw that you added her because she was like, is this him? Like, he added me, which, and like the thing is, it's not a big deal. He really could have just been like, oh yeah, I did, like you always post it, she's your sister and I like you. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll follow your sister, like whatever, right? But then he's like insisting, and he's like, no, like I've never met her, like I didn't do that. And then his excuse was, you know, like sometimes when you're on your phone, you're confirming people, and then like you're just like, I guess I probably added her thinking I was confirming her. Like I probably thought that she added me. And I was like, I mean, yeah, I just think it's weird because like where would that have come from? You don't have any mutuals. You don't have her number. I don't know why Snapchat would suggest that. Are they suggesting any of my other friends? Because he didn't follow any of my other friends. It's a different case if you had followed a couple of them. It's like, oh, I really thought they were adding me. I thought you told your friends about me, da 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 da. But like, no. And it turned into this whole thing of just be honest. And so little white lies piss me off because I can't trust you with the big things. And I could not trust him with the big things because I remember that I asked him how old he was the first time I met him. He was like, I'm 27. Next time we went out, he was 29. And then I saw his ID and he was 34. So I just feel like if you lie about the little things, I can't trust you for the big things. If I cannot trust you, there is no relationship, right? So that's why that is a deal breaker. Oh my goodness, yes. So this is kind of small, but not really. I think it really depends on who you ask. Some people don't really care about this, but for me, when my man does not hype me up, or when your girl does not hype you up, like I just feel like it's low-key like hate. Like it's not like hate, but I feel like, what's the big deal? Hype me up. Especially because like I'm a type of person, I know so many people, I know many people are like the type to throw compliments out. Or like someone's like doing something good, you hype them up, or like someone is like having something good's happening to someone and you hype them up or something like that. So like for me, I expect that my man is hyping me up at every single second of the day. So for me, like, okay, so think about it, right? I've been looking for the perfect orange lipstick my whole life. Not sure, maybe the past like 2-3 years. Couldn't find it, right? Finally found the perfect one. So assuming I had told my partner this and like, yeah, I finally found it, and then I come out like looking bomb like I am right now, and then they're just like, oh, they don't say anything. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. That would piss me off. Like I'm just thinking about it and like, why not, right? Like you should want your partner to feel like the best version of themselves at every moment in time. And if that means hyping them up, it's a different case if they're like, no, don't say anything to me, then that's totally fine. But if you know you're with someone who likes to be hyped up, like I myself, I love being complimented because I love complimenting people. So I know that I would always hype up my partner. And so I would just expect the same thing. And then the next one, not having my back. That's a big one. That is definitely a deal breaker. And I'm not saying that fight my battles for me. I think those are two very different things. No one is really saying, fight all my battles for me, I don't want to do anything. No. It's more so being like, if I'm in an altercation, it doesn't even need to be like physical. Maybe hostility, or I'm trying to make a point or something, and someone is like slamming me down, da 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 da. I expect you to, say something. I'm not saying escalate the situation. No, you could de-escalate the situation, but still having someone's back. But like, unless I tell you to shut up, don't shut up. You know what I mean? I think sometimes, obviously, if it's a private matter, no one's expecting you to like eavesdrop on conversations and barge in. But I think that like, if someone's going through something, like you need to have their back, or if they're not there and someone is like talking crazy or something, you should defend them, have their back. Like, it's a very simple concept. A lot of people, I feel like, don't really get it. I think to me it symbolizes loyalty. I'm also very huge on loyalty. I need to be able to trust you, and if I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like the best type of people are the type of people who defend you, who take up for your character when you're not there. You know what I mean? So yeah, have my back. And finally, poor communication and comprehension skills. Ooh, I think that it's redundant to say I'm a communicator. Everyone is a communicator, right? In their own way. People communicate in different ways, which is why the concept of comprehension is extremely important, because I think you need to like learn the way that your partner communicates and figure out how to comprehend what they're saying. I'm trying to like use the word so it ties in together, but I'm gonna stop doing that. But I think that like, I don't think I would be able to deal with a person who didn't understand me or understand where I was coming from. And I'm not saying that that should be an excuse. So like, you don't ever talk to anyone, but that's how you communicate because everyone should know what's in your brain. No, you need to actually communicate with people in your own way. But if it's also not working, you should push yourself, because if you're doing something that's unhealthy for yourself, there's no reason to stay in that thing. So that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that you need to like being able to talk to your partner clearly, have them understand you and feel heard is a different experience that I feel like a lot of people don't get and truly deserve. So for me, I talk so much. I love to communicate. So if I had someone who just didn't or who couldn't give me that back, I honestly don't understand how a relationship would work. But also, even for myself, sometimes I tell myself, you gotta understand that not everybody is like that. And so sometimes meeting them halfway, maybe 60-40, 60 my way, because you should talk more. But yeah. So there's something that keeps on coming up. And it came up a couple of times. And I know that this video is a little bit more lighthearted. We're having a good time laughing. It's all fun and games. Well, it's not all fun and games, but it's more fun than not. But I didn't feel right not mentioning this thing because it did come up. And that is the issue of violence in a relationship. And I have a whole entire video dedicated to this coming up, so I'm not going to go too into it. But I did want to say that any form of violence or abuse is just not okay, right? Like, that was a deal breaker for a lot of people. For some people, frankly and realistically, it's not. But I think that as a society, we need to get to a place where we're not putting our hands on each other, right? Like, keep your hands to yourself, right? But also understanding that abuse and the violence is not only physical. So it's not just a punch or a slap or a hit or a push or something. It's also verbal. It's also financial abuse, or it's emotional, or like mental, or it's manipulation and things like that. And those are not okay. Those are 100% deal breakers, and frankly should not be in a relationship, right? If you love someone, you want them to feel good. You want them to feel like you actually care about them. They shouldn't be scared of you, or scared of what you might do, or what you could do, or what you have done and whatnot. And so I did just want to put that out there, and also let people know that if this is something that you're experiencing, there are people on the other side who will welcome you with open arms. You know what I mean? So if you feel okay and safe to do so, always know that no matter how big or small any of these things become, even if it's just a push or a touch or calling you out of your name or something like that, it is well within your right to walk away walk out of that relationship. And always know that there are people out there, myself especially, because I'm speaking on behalf of myself, who will welcome you with open arms and who will support you every single step of the way. So yeah, that brings us to the end of our video, and I hope that you like this. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you comment below because I love engagement. Maybe you're like, Amber, they were okay, but you missed out on a couple of things. Please let me know. Leave it in the comments. What are your deal breakers? Or maybe you disagree with one of my deal breakers. Explain to me why. I want to know it all. And finally, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't know why I sang that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm super excited. My name's Amber. This is Amberiety, and I will see you next week.